Good morning and happy Tuesday. Here we are again. Who can possibly believe that we're back learning remotely, back onto the computers? We can't see each other, we can't joke around, we can't feel connected as we do when we're in the classroom. But this is the situation we find ourselves in. And once again, you find yourselves as young students in a crucial moment of choice in your life. What are you going to do with this second lockdown? How are you going to manage yourself? Are you going to just give up and think about all those difficulties you had back when it started last March when school was shut? Or are you going to, you know what, I did okay last year. I managed, I got through the lessons. And this is really about you this morning. It's about how you're thinking and how you imagine yourself going to cope with the new situation we find ourselves in. This is all about you and the choices that you have to make. So let me help you with those choices by sharing an amazing anecdote with you. An anecdote that I found in a book that I'm reading called Rebel Ideas. It's an absolutely brilliant book. And this is the story. The story revolves around some research that was conducted with people who work in call centers. And they wanted to understand, why is it that some people lasted a very long time in their jobs? And also looking at why some people took a lot of time off for sickness and other people seem to come to work very often and almost never took time off from work. And they investigated and they really tried to search through different reasons that were plausible. Was it distance from work? Was it people's background? Was it a whole number of different reasons? And they really weren't able to come up with any solutions. But then one of the assistants had a flash of insight. I'm quoting now from the book. The team had data on the web browsers that had been used by the applicants to fill out the assessment forms. Some had used Safari, others used Firefox, some used Internet Explorer, and others used Chrome. Now here's a very, very bizarre question. Could it possibly be that the answer to their question, why some people lasted a long time in their job as in a call center, was related somehow to what internet browser they used? Sounds completely ridiculous, so don't give up. Listen, and you'll find out why it's not so ridiculous. But they actually discovered that those who filled out the application form using Firefox and Chrome stayed in their jobs 15% longer than those who used Safari or Internet Explorer. And they also looked at absences from work, and they found that those who used Firefox and Chrome had 19% fewer absences than those who used Safari or Internet Explorer. Now, this seems like a very, very unusual and quite bizarre way of finding reasons for why people stay in a job or don't take time off for being ill. What's it really got to do with what internet browser you use? But then someone came up with an idea, and this is really the crux of what I want you to think about today. Because this is all about the choices you are going to make and how you view yourself, and more importantly, how you understand the situation we find ourselves in. So when you look at Internet Explorer and Safari, those two browsers come ready uploaded onto your computers. If you've got a Mac, you've got Safari, you've got a PC, you've got Internet Explorer, and people that use those are pretty much suggesting we don't do anything different. We stay with the script. This is the way it is on the computer. We've got no sense of imagination. We've got no drive to change the way things are. We're just going to trudge through. And sometimes, if that's your attitude, then when things get tough, you just stop. You just give up. You just throw your arms in the air and say, you know what? I don't have it within me to do anything different. I don't know how to create a better situation from the one I'm in. I don't know how to do it, and the situation's getting on top of me, so I'm going to quit. But how do you get Firefox and how do you get Chrome? You have to actually make an effort to download them. And here they began to reveal a way of thinking that perhaps differentiated the two different groups. Those call center workers, I'm reading again from the book, who could step outside of what always is done, outside of convention, performed significantly better. When the status quo wasn't good enough, they came up with something original. When what they were living through didn't make them happy, they figured out a way of doing it better. This mindset also helps to explain why Chrome and Firefox users stayed at their jobs longer. Workers who were capable of finding a new, creative, brilliant way to solve a problem, ones that weren't written in a script, didn't get so stressed, didn't get down when things didn't make sense, when things weren't running according to the words that they had to use. They were able to be creative, and that is the challenge I want you to seize with both of your hands this morning. It's going to be difficult emotionally, intellectually, academically, different socially. It's going to be frustrating, because that's the reality of a lockdown. We can't live the lives we want. But are you the type of person that would have downloaded Chrome or Firefox? Are you creative? Are you able to break the mold and do something different? If you are, then you've already taken important steps on the path of success. If you're not, then listen to this assembly even more carefully. Maybe listen to it again and hear the message. You're going to need to be creative, but you know what? You've got your teachers and people who love you, in your families and your friends, who believe you can do it. Not just because we have to, because you know deep down that making those adjustments will make the next period of your lives so much better, so much more fulfilling. And you'll look back and you know what? I achieved all these great things. And that will then give you so much encouragement for the next challenge that will no doubt come your way. In the meantime, have a very lovely day.